Right now on AABJ's In Contact, tenants tossed out. Hair products, couches, bottles of liquor, and much more piled up in two separate parking lots on the same day.
Grants gifted to organizations that support Metro Atlanta mothers, and it's all thanks to Metro booming.
Bugs, they're everywhere, but research shows they may be more than you think here in Atlanta.
And coming up later in the show, we're just a couple of months away from the start of the NBA basketball season. But for one Metro Atlanta coach, basketball is all year long. We're talking about the game with Robert Allen Jr. AABJ's In Contact starts right now.
What's going on in our community? So together we can make a change, you and me. Yeah, in contact.
Welcome to In Contact, the Atlanta Association of Black Journalists award-winning broadcast.
This episode's title is Boom Like an 808 in the 404. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tianna Faulkner.
I'm Vivian Gilbert.
And I'm Tanasia Kenney. We have lots of news you could use around Metro Atlanta.
First, two Metro Atlanta businesses found themselves put out on the street. You may have seen this video trending online. Back on August 7th, both the Red Martini Lounge in Buckhead and the Beauty Mart Supply Store in Clayton County were evicted from their locations. It took no time for word spread on social media. Crowds of possibly hundreds of people were drawn to both locations. People getting away with TVs, couches, bottles of liquor, and hair products. According to Fox 5 Atlanta, the eviction at Red Martini was due to lack of rent payment. Wow, it's so upsetting and just unbelievable how those two businesses went out and people came and just got their things at such a big event.
I think it's just very unfortunate how people took advantage. I'm more concerned about the business owners getting back on their feet.
Absolutely, but if you were someone who maybe would like to stop and grab something, what would be the first product or whatever that you would grab?
Well, I wouldn't be looting, but maybe there could be a good use, like maybe helping the homeless.
And hopefully I might be able to find a new straightener, but I would not be looting or picking through people's belongings. Hopefully those two businesses can go to a new location.
Absolutely.
This next story highlights history being made in Fulton County. The first ever publicly funded behavioral health crisis center officially opened in Southwest Atlanta this month. According to Fulton County Police, the 24-bed facility will provide services 24/7 for Georgians in need. The hope is that this resource will help bridge the gap between individuals suffering a behavioral crisis and law enforcement throughout the area. I think this is just great. History being made and benefiting the community at the same time. That's just a wonderful thing right here in Atlanta.
Absolutely, and I'm happy to see that more time, money, and resources are kind of being put into mental health research. It's definitely a priority, and it's needed.
Yes, mental health is a very big and important issue, and it's important for people to know about it. And I'm happy that Atlanta is a place that's really taking mental health seriously.
And now, a story that will touch your hearts. Single mothers across the nation and right here in the Metro are getting a little help that will go a long way. And it's all thanks to Grammy-nominated producer Metro Boomin. On a tour stop here in Atlanta, he presented checks to two local winners of his Leslie Joanne Single Moms or Superheroes Grant Giving Tour program. This is a multi-city initiative to provide $20,000 and concert tickets to nonprofit organizations that support single mothers. This year, the Atlanta Mission and Solomon's Temple were awarded. Metro Boomin launched the program in memory of his late mother. What a wonderful program for obviously two deserving local nonprofits.
I think it's great that he's giving back to the community and, in honor of his mother. I think that's so special.
Yes, and with him being a Grammy Award winner, he's having the time and the resources to really give back to where he comes from.
Absolutely, and I guess my question to each of you ladies would be, if you had a $20,000 grant, what would you allocate it toward?
I would do the same, just pour it back into the community, helping underserved communities with education. That's my thing.
And I would probably split the money in half to help people in need and other people who really do need those resources, but also to help myself and invest into myself, because it's important to help others, but it's also important to help yourself.
Still ahead on AABJ's In Contact Sports.
Our analyst Hollywood will join us for a one-on-one interview with Atlanta's one, the only Robert Lee Allen Jr.
Welcome back to In Contact. This broadcast is an opportunity for all.
That's right. So let's check in now with our colleague Hollywood.
Hollywood is conducting the interview for this episode, shining a light on the importance of Black leaders in the sports industry right here in Metro Atlanta. Hollywood?
Ladies, thank you so much. My name is Hollywood, and today we have a very special guest, Coach Rob. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm amazing. That's
good.
First, before we even get into this interview, I want to talk about how we met.
All right.
Iverson Classic, Memphis, Bartlett High School. I gotta always be a representative from where I'm from.
For sure.
You were producing. Were you training at that event as well at the Iverson Classic?
Actually was there with 3/5 Media, with my guy Trey McCain. We worked on a documentary for Showtime, but I also was there for J.D. Davidson, a kid that I trained that's with the Boston Celtics that won. That was a part of the NBA championship this year. So I was just there just to, network as I always do. So, that's why I was there.
For sure.
Yep.
It's so crazy like how people connect in those moments. I think when I was there, I was trying to get an interview with Stack.
Okay.
It was during COVID, Steven Jackson, for people who may not know. I was trying to get that interview with him, reached out to his peoples. They instantly hit me back. And when I walked in that room trying to get the interview, Trey was laying on the floor with his camera. I opened the door. He was like, "Man, close the door!" Because it was messing up. You heard the sound and stuff like that coming from the background. And I just think being around in that kind of environment, it influenced us all just to want to see more, do more. Especially you got these future NBA players there, Stack inspiring the people, AI, Bobby Bates, big love to them, man. So I just wanted to give you your flowers because
I appreciate it.
You just saw me since day one, and when we first met, it was instant connection, right? And it was instant love in that moment. And like I was just kind of saying, from a sports standpoint, we're all working, trying to get to that next level, all trying to grow. But it's like a 25/8 kind of job. You can never sleep.
For sure.
When I asked how are you in the beginning of this, I actually meant it, right? So on a scale from 1 to 10, both mentally and business-wise, separately, right? Where do you feel like you are? And explain to me why.
I'm at a 10.
Okay.
I just feel like God has blessed me where I am right now, mentally, also business-wise. I can't take for granted for the things that I have right now, the people that I mentor each and every day, the guys that I work with. So the kids, the families, the parents that I each and every day talk to. So I just feel like I'm at a 10, man. I'm blessed. So I'm blessed to be here, blessed to just be on this interview right now with you, so I appreciate it.
Of course, I appreciate you being here.
For sure.
I think that's a mentality though that you gotta have, right? Being at a 10 isn't easy.
Nah, it's not.
At all. It's like constant maintenance, whether that's prayer, whether that's self-care, whether that's massage therapy, which I just got and absolutely hated it because it was so painful the other day.
Nah, I feel
you gotta keep yourself up, and like I said, that's a mentality. Selma, Alabama, that's your hometown. A lot of rich history. Sometimes maybe sad, but rich history comes from there. Were your parents ever like an early representation of that history for you?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
Just being born there in the historic city of Selma. You hear stories. I wasn't there during those times, but my mom and dad, my whole family always kept me up to abreast what was going on. So everywhere they went, throughout the country, when I was with them, they let people know where they were from, just as I do today. That's the first thing I'm gonna say in any interview, that I'm from Selma, Alabama, which I love my city and where I'm from. But they definitely were sticklers for it. We knew all the history about it. So, I wish more people, as of today, know where Selma, Alabama is and the rich history that we have.
Of course. And you said they were both from Selma,
They're
right?
both from Selma.
I want to put emphasis on your dad here.
Okay.
Right? To my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong here, both your dad and your uncle were street ball legends in Selma, Alabama. So I'm guessing he was like an early representation. He introduced that game to you early on,
he was.
Right? What was that like seeing him coming up? Like, was it you guys riding through the neighborhood and what's up, man? Like, what's going on? How you doing? Like, was it kind of like that? Was it inspirational to that fact, or you just paid more to the ball?
It was more so both.
Okay.
I would definitely say. Just being with my dad all the time, going around the city, and he would let me know his name was May White, which I never understood.
Okay. Do you
but
understand it now?
he told, I understand it. His favorite player was JoJo White for the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
So he was at the courts one day, and the guy told him, "Hey man, you shoot like JoJo White."
Okay.
And he was shooting in some white shoes.
Okay.
So, and it was the month of May.
Got it.
So,
okay.
So,
they kind of put two and two.
Yeah, so
You know how they do
I don't think it's the greatest.
No, but look,
choice,
but I think if it sticks, like, it works.
Yeah, so
if it sticks, it works.
he was called May White, but we just go around the city and people would tell me, man, you don't know how good your dad and your uncle were. Like, your dad could really shoot the basketball. He was known for shooting the ball off the backboard, so bank shots. So when I was younger, he used to always try to teach me how to shoot off the backboard. But they definitely my dad put the ball in my hand, so that's how I got into basketball.
Of course. And I love how you said that too, just how he introduced the game to you. For me, South Memphis, we didn't even have like a goal in our backyard until I actually moved to South Memphis at that point in time in my life. I say East Memphis made me, South Memphis saved me. I was a youngin' living in East Memphis, but when I got older, I was in high school, middle school, South Memphis living out there. And that's when I finally got a goal in the back. Dad helped change the rim, change the net, do whatever you had to do. He's 6'3" at this time. I'm like 5'9". I go to the hole, he gonna block me every single time.
I've had that plenty of times, but once you get older, you try to put him in his place. So he would always tell me. Like,
how long did it take for you to? I feel like I kind of developed a little bit later on it.
It ain't take long.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to let me win a couple times. Now being a father myself, I kind of understand what he was doing, but it was. He put the ball in my hand, so I appreciate him for that, definitely.
Yeah. So I would kind of think, to a certain degree, you got to figure out how to bring money home too. Like, was it basketball that brought money home? Was it something else that he was doing that brought money home? Like, was it like a career thing, family? How did that work?
So my dad graduated with his degree in accounting from Troy University. He's a financial analyst for an international paper. He just retired last year.
Congratulations.
So I don't know the exact years, and I know my dad would be mad if I ain't know, but I just know he was there a long time. He started working when he was like 15 at International Paper. So that brought the money home. That's where he was each and every day. Got off it, went to work at 8, got off at 5. And it was the same thing, straight 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. So that was his job. So,
And I don't want to leave out Mom here as well. So when I say the name Dr. Geraldine Allen, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Oh man, that's an exceptional woman. That's what comes to mind. Hard worker, each and every day, educator, counseling woman, and mother, love. So that's what comes to mind.
I want to be so intentional here when I say this. When I was looking on your Instagram, you asked me where I got the information from. I was on your Instagram, I had to find a couple videos, and I had to lock in on, like, I think it was was it a poster? Was it like a statue kind of sitting somewhere? But it had her picture and her name sitting there, and I was able to read off some of her roles. And like I said, I want to be very intentional here with this. So she was employed as a director of the intensive care unit at the Selma Medical Center, nursing education for the Vaughn Regional, an educator at the George C. Wallace College of Selma and the University of Alabama. She was the chairperson of the Jonathan Daniels Community Development, former city school boardroom member, and a member of the Selma Water Board. She also was a director of the Masters of Science in Nursing at Troy University, as well as the city council president of the Selma City Council. Now, in my opinion, I think coming up in that kind of exemplary household, you got to be locked in. You got to be focused. Like, it's no time to play. Like, was it pressure for you coming up, like living like that? Because it's like you gotta almost feel a certain level fill some shoes like from your parents because they both are legends in the city of Selma?
I don't think it was pressure.
Okay.
Because of how they brought me up, how they taught me different things. It was just, this is what you need to do to be successful.
Yeah.
So me having, I know a lot of people don't have successful two parents in the home, which was a blessing for me. So I got to see it each and every day. But they just instilled the right things into me, just let me know, hey, this is how you get to where you want to go, with hard work and dedication. And as you read my mom accolades, as you can see, she has a whole book. So it's even more stuff that you don't have that she did. But she was definitely an exceptional woman, and she taught me a lot growing up.
How long did it take for you to finally realize the avenues that you could take in basketball? Like whether that was pro, whether that was college, whether that was AAU. Did your parents introduce you to that? Did you have to kind of go and figure that out yourself, or? I
figured it out myself, but because I had two parents that, wanted to do anything for their son, me being the only child, I just went to them and, just told them, hey, this is what I need to get into. These are the things, and it wasn't, they never told me no. Whatever they had to do to get it done, I got it done. That's going to camps. That's making sure that I was in any event that I had to be in. So they both made sure that they sacrificed their time for me to get to where I wanted to go. And, I'm truly blessed for that. So,
How were you able, because I love that, how were you able to pull from those same morals into you raised, because you have two beautiful daughters right now, how were you able to pull from that mentality, right? They never said no. Whatever they had to do, they had to get it done. How did you pull from that and kind of mold that into your own?
It's just like the circle keeps going. The circle of life, like they say on The Lion King, it's just the circle. Just having my daughters, Hannah and Jordan, they're both into activities as well. Just knowing, hey, it doesn't matter if I don't have it. If I gotta go out and get it, I'll go get it for them, because my parents made that happen for me. And I also want to be a pillar for them when they have kids, so they can say, dad did this for us, or their mother did this for them, so their parents did for them, so they can do for theirs. So all in all, man, I had the best parents in the world. God bless my mom, so she's not here anymore, but everywhere I go, she's in my heart and on my back. So, and when people see me, they definitely that grew up, that knew my mom, worked with my mom, they always say I have her spirit. So
in this world, I think you gotta be so real with yourself, right? You talk about a lot. We'll kind of piggyback and come back to this here. You play overseas, hurt your knee. Did you know coming into this world, like of basketball, that the NBA may not always be the end goal?
No. Because they tell us all the time, you can be what you want to be. My parents instilled that in me. Me not being the tallest person in the world, having to know that, hey, it's a slim chance to none. So that actually instilled a lot in me too, just from my point of view of working hard, getting up in the morning, lifting weights, shooting. I didn't have a trainer. But thank God for my cousins. My cousin Doc Robinson was an All-American at Auburn University, got to play in the NBA. My other cousin Kenney, he was a JUCO All-American, one of the best players, point guards I've ever been around. So I was around them all the time. So just me being the smallest and everybody tell me what I couldn't do, I was gonna make sure I got it done. So for me, as I got older, I kind of got off of if I don't make the NBA, it's not a big deal. But my main goal was to make it to play Division I basketball, and I got to do that. And then, being able to be a pro at one time, which is a blessing in itself, me being the size I am. So I just instilled that in me, myself, and, just in my family. And I knew them sacrificing a lot for me, that made me go extra harder. So, of course, I actually did make the NBA by working NBA players out. So
you did that.
So I actually did make it at the end of the day. So I just made it a different route.
Did you? how can I word this? I feel like, especially when you're walking away from the game, that's hard. Was the decision tough, or did you kind of feel like God kind of just threw you in there and was like, figure it out?
It was tough for a little bit, but I had my first daughter. I had Hannah, so and I was married at the time to her mother. So
22.
Yeah,
you were 22
years old when I got married. So I did the same thing my parents did for me. Man. I had to start to, get in the workforce and make sure she was fine and make sure they were fine. So, at this point, I had I was cool with not playing anymore. So I was able to move on and start in the business world. So,
Did anybody ever try to keep you in the game? Like try to just playing wise? Not, of course, you got into training, but anybody?
Yeah, but I was done. Yeah. I wanted to make sure that I provided everything for my daughter and her mother. So I stopped. Yeah. So.
Did you know that the initial step would ever be in coaching?
No.
How'd you get into it?
Oh man, that's a long story, and I could be here 2 hours telling you that story. But just to give you a little brief synopsis, just wanted to give back to kids when I got to Atlanta, and we're looking for AAU programs to just give my knowledge to kids, and I was able to find one. It was the Cobb Purple Knights in Marietta. Okay. James Williams was the was the director, and he's the head coach at Voorhees University right now, which is crazy. Yeah. And he had a team of 7th graders, and they weren't very good. And he said, "Hey man, could you help me work these? Get these guys better." We didn't have a good team. We were getting beat terribly, but it was one kid on the team. He's probably one of the best players. His name was Ricky Sherman. And he called me one day, and he was the one that actually gave me my name. Called me one day and said, "Coach Rob." Okay. And I said, "What's going on?" And he was like, "Man, could you train me?" And me not having a trainer, not knowing what it was, or I was like, "What is that?" Yeah. And he said, he used to watch me play. Yeah. And he said, "Hey," he used to watch me play at LA Fitness on days. And "Could you just teach me what you're doing?" Yeah. And I said, "Okay." And I was still like, when he was like, "Well, if you do it, my dad said he'll pay you." I said, "He'll pay me."
Yeah, baby, I'm gonna take it.
I was like, "Okay, I'll take it." That's some, diaper milk money for my daughter. Yeah. So it's just some extra money. So I said, "Yeah, I'll do it." And man, I worked that kid out for a year at LA Fitness, just me and him, and worked him out. And then people started seeing me at the gym, and then started asking me to work their players out. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know my purpose. I wouldn't know my God purpose. So I always thank him for putting me in that position. And then it grew to what it is now. So
55,000 followers ain't easy to grow on Instagram. It's not. And I want you to tell this story because you know where I'm trying to go with this. How did you manage to grow that following? Because from Selma, right, to Atlanta, totally different market. You got to learn this game out here. It's based on connections, networking, relationships, whatever may have you. Growing that following, was it hard? Was it the posting? Was it the videos? Like, what was that process like for you?
A lot of people won't believe you about this, but I don't really too much care for social media. Okay. But I have to do it. I'm kind of a private person. Yeah. But a guy by the name of Dre the Barber, when I moved here, I needed a barber because everybody was messing my head up at one time. And I saw him on the Explore page, went to his barbershop. And he just told me, hey, his friend at the time was Joe Johnson that played for the Hawks. And he was like, hey, could you show me your Instagram? Because I could possibly put you on. I didn't have a page. And then he kind of talked to me about having a page and just doing things. So I would just post a lot. It was him that got me started into Instagram and just posting, man, and just each and every day just trying to get a community. And then some of my videos started going viral. So that's basically how it happened.
Well, Coach Rob, man, I'm so appreciative for the time that you've given us today. Like I said, I'm always going to give you your flowers.
I
Because the way we met, it was just in such a organic and beautiful way. So we're going to keep working. We're going to keep getting there. We're going to keep connecting. Hopefully it's not the first time we sit down.
Yeah, for sure.
Coach Rob, appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
Sure.
All right.
Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Hollywood. Next, we're telling you about one of America's buggiest cities.
Keep it here.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to In Contact. This is our last story of the show.
You were thinking it, and now there's research to back it up. Your thoughts. Atlanta has a lot of bugs.
Yes, so a study released just this month shows that our city has ranked as one of the worst places for bugs in America for the second year in a row. The data comes from service website Thumbtack. Atlanta was listed as the #1 city when it comes to pest control, bed bugs, and pesticide services. Summer is definitely here, so the bugs are outside and trying to beat the heat by coming inside. So what are, I guess, the kinds of bugs that you absolutely say, like, heck no to when you see it in your house?
My thing is spiders. I really don't like all the cobwebs, and, walking in the cobwebs is my thing. I really find it pet peeves. It's really good to have some bug repellent nowadays.
Yes, and I really don't like roaches or mosquitoes, how they can bite you and give you very itchy bites on your arms and legs. It's just horrible. That's why I always try to keep some off-spray repellent with me.
Absolutely. I'm same, Vivian, no roaches and also things that fly. I was stung by a wasp not too many months ago on the forehead of all places. I was looking a little weird, but yeah, I don't do things that fly either.
Well, that does it for us. Stay updated with In Contact and the Atlanta Association of Black Journalists on social media. But also, here's a list of our meeting dates for the remainder of the year. We meet at WSB TV studios every second Saturday of each month.
We appreciate you joining us.
A special thanks to our partners at AIB Network for helping to make this broadcast possible. We'll see you back here next time.